You sit down to study. You open your book, and you decide to check your phone for just 1 minute. Suddenly, the light is gone, and you've lost 2 hours. Deadlines are chasing you. Your brain is exhausted, yet the actual work is still sitting there, completely untouched. When students feel like there is never enough time, the issue usually lies in how attention is fragmented across the day, rather than a lack of hours on the clock. Look at this timeline. Most people assume they need 12 hours of grueling study, but when you eliminate distractions, you can compress that output into 3 to 4 hours of dense, focused effort. To achieve this, we are going to organize your day into 4 distinct pillars: your morning setup, your afternoon management, your evening wrap-up, and your mindset. Moving from brute force studying to this rigid structure allows you to dictate your schedule, rather than letting your schedule dictate you. Step 1 begins the moment you wake up. The default habit for most students is to grab the phone and scroll through social media, which drains the brain's energy before the day even begins. No phone for the first 30 minutes. Your brain is fresh in the morning. This line graph tracks human willpower over a 24-hour cycle. Notice the sharp peak right here at the wake-up point. Your cognitive focus is at its highest point immediately after waking, and it declines steadily from there. To capitalize on this peak state, you hydrate, sit at your desk, and isolate one single task. The scope of this task must remain small. If you have an exam, review exactly 1 chapter. If you have an assignment, complete just one specific part of it. Finishing one defined task immediately builds psychological momentum, making it significantly easier to carry that productivity through the rest of your day. Step 2 addresses the afternoon. This is the point where many students experience sleepiness and the urge to procrastinate, driven by a predictable biological drop in energy levels. You can manage this dip using a specific structured countermeasure called the 50-10 protocol. This diagram breaks 1 hour into 2 parts. The solid wedge is your intense study session, capped at 50 minutes. That leaves a 10-minute break. You must stand, stretch, and hydrate, keeping all screens strictly prohibited. Keep your phone in another room, out of sight, out of distraction. Respecting the brain's biological limits with burst focus prevents burnout and allows for high cognitive output even during the afternoon slump. Step 3 protects your evening. It is common to feel entitled to rest after a long day, which often spirals into hours of uncontrolled digital consumption. Before you transition into any leisure activities, you will mandate the completion of one final, minor academic task. This single act of closure proves to the brain that consistency produces better results than raw intensity, ensuring you never quit a day prematurely. Step 4 addresses the mindset behind chronic procrastination. This delay is usually caused by the active emotional avoidance of tasks that feel difficult or overwhelming. Avoiding the work actually increases your baseline anxiety, whereas taking immediate action, even if it's imperfect, starts to reduce it. To bypass this avoidance state, you can use a psychological hack known as the 5-minute rule. Look at how this complex workload simplifies when we scale it down. You commit to working for just 5 minutes, reframing a multi-hour session into a highly manageable microtask. Artificially lowering the barrier to entry works because it helps you overcome the hardest phase, initiation. Once you start, your natural momentum takes over, and the work continues automatically. If you have struggled with productivity in the past, it is usually the result of a missing framework rather than a lack of intent. You now have that system. Ban the phone in the morning, use 50-minute focused blocks, complete a final evening task, and use the 5-minute rule to get started. I challenge you to execute this framework for the next 7 days. Prioritize raw consistency over trying to make every session perfect. Sticking to this protocol leads to tangible outcomes, significantly lower stress, a reclaimed schedule, and better academic results. Take action on this today. The lie of the procrastinator is that tomorrow will be different, but real change only happens when you start now.